Welcome to this week's LoyalTV, where our mission to tell the best Oklahoma stories you've never heard brings us to Claremore and the amazing story of a famous black liquid that came gushing from the ground and changed the face of a town. A liquid that had nothing to do with oil.
Well, the first commercial oil well was drilled in Chelsea, Oklahoma, which is north of Claremore. And so there was a lot of activity after that because other people were thinking, well, we need to start getting involved in the oil business too and making some money. And people were drilling around Claremore and all they were hitting was stinky water. And I mean, by stinky, it smelled like rotten eggs.
What's up, boss? Look at it. Smell it.
Called it radium water. It didn't have any radium in it, but it had a lot of sulfur in it. So it was basically black. People were trying to figure out, how can I make some money off of this?
I'm going to let you in on a deal that'll make us $1 million. Yeah.
I equate it to, if you look at Westerns, you think of, okay, here comes the wagon with the doctor coming in here and he's selling his magic elixir and all that. People were just trying to figure out, how can we make this stinky water into some sort of magic elixir, some way that we can make some money off of it. And they found out that it would be a good idea to make Claremore more of what I call a bath town. Since we're on Route 66 and we're also between two railroads, and there were a lot of passenger trains back then the community sprang up in between the tracks and they had a lot of different bathhouses. For instance, if you go over to 9th Street, that was called Radium Town. There were a lot of different types of bathhouses. Some were very rowdy and I'm sure had a lot of alcohol flowing also around them or in them, and maybe crossing the line of illegality at times. And then some were, I'm sure, a little bit more quiet from a standpoint, and the Will Rogers was more of the family style. It was primarily bathing, but some people drank it. I don't know how they drank it, how they could stand it. You'd have to hold your nose because it smelled so bad. But it was primarily bathing. And for example, I'm going to use the Will Rogers Hotel. You would go in, there was a men's side and there was a women's side. You could go in and have a bath. You could have a massage, you could have a steam, and basically just relax. So it would be a traditional way of trying to cure a person of any sort of stress, reduce their stress. And it also would help take care of skin ailments. One story that most people don't know of, there was a princess from Austria, Princess Stephanie, who came here in 1913, and she suffered from eczema. And she came over and she went to what was called then the Radium Institute. It's one of the bathhouses on Main Street. So it really helped those people. You hear of stories, from some people saying, came in here on crutches and it came out without crutches. Will Rogers said that these waters, the radium waters, would cure you of everything but being a Democrat. It makes me feel proud that Claremore had a very interesting old history, and we still enjoy talking about it, learning about it.
We hope you enjoyed the story of Claremore's stinky water and how, for a short but glorious time, it turned Radium Town into a place fit for royalty. Join us next week as we visit Oklahoma City and discover how a dramatic helicopter rescue from Saigon in 1975 helped shape the Vietnamese community and the booming Asian district. Right here on LoyalTV.